Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you all doing? I'm again back here. As per my promise, I'm doing two live short trainings every week on Tuesday and Friday. The times are not set. I'm really sorry for that because of certain things coming up here and there. But I do live trainings every Tuesday and Friday. So here is another topic which is much in demand. Why I'm saying much in demand? Because we all are working, most of us are working organically, and it's very hard to find engagements on your content, right? I come across this question many a times during a day by the coaches and other people saying that I'm doing lots of stuff, I'm doing this and that, but I'm not getting engagements on my posts. People are not getting connected with me. Why so? What should I do to overcome this challenge? So I made it very simple. The topic today on which I'm going to give you a small training is how do I create compelling content which connects to my audience? Simple, isn't it? So are you all guys ready? So here I go. I'll start sharing my screen and tell you what all things do you need to do that. Fair. So the topic here is how do I make compelling stories to connect with my audience? Now let's make things simpler. I always say that I'm a firm believer of making things simpler for you. And even my tagline says business simplified, success amplified. So when I say being simple, I really mean it. And I'll show it in front of you. What I mean by saying making it simpler. So what do you want? What do you want? In your business, you want audience, you want clients, isn't it? So what do you want your audience to do? Simple. You want your audience to see your content. You want your audience to engage with your content, right? You want your audience to get nurtured slowly and steadily, because everybody knows that the entire chunk of audience consists of two kinds, I would say. One, who is ready to buy immediately, which is 3%, and people who are not ready to buy immediately, but the major chunk of the business remains there, which is 97%. So you need to nurture those audience, which is in a bulk, staying there, waiting for you to get something from you. So you need to nurture them. That's your purpose, right? And then once they are nurtured enough, they want something from you, you have to make them the right decision. You need to help them to take the right decision, which will help them grow better, right? So this is what your purpose is, correct? Now, it is not going to happen, which normally is the case. It won't happen by what I say is giving gyan, right? What do you mean by giving gyan? You are just talking about something or the other. You are talking about multiple things which is not related to your niche or which is not related to what your customer wants. Then what to do, right? So giving gyan is not going to help. If you are talking the same thing which everybody else is talking, again, you are lost in the crowd. So don't talk which is being talked by everybody else in this market. Then where do you find those contents? You'll see, yeah, this is what everybody is there for. And if this is what everybody is talking about. So why should not I be talking about the same thing? But my friends, mind it, is if you are going to just replicate what others are doing, you don't have your own USP, nobody is going to listen to you, right? Now, people I have seen, they create content by copy pasting anything from the internet. This is not going to work again, because everybody knows, everybody is using this chat GPT, Bard, AI, and all those AI tools to write and create content. If it has not something which is original, people will immediately make it. Yes, they're more likely to get closer to the natural things, but still it is not, right? So you have to have something of your own. And then again, don't preach by saying how to do this. This is an old concept now. So when I say old concept, people are still doing it. And you have multiple videos, multiple content related to this, how to tagline, how to do this, how to not do that, and so on and so forth. Now people have been more or less saturated. And you know, this is a cycle. Everything comes to a saturation when it is in excess. Similarly, post-pandemic, or I would say with the starting of the pandemic, these things have gone too crazy, right? And everybody has started doing it. So this particular set of contents have again gone in a saturation mode where people would, yeah, people definitely would see something or the other, but you're not going to be differentiated from these kinds of contents, right? So again, your question remains the same. How do I create compelling stories or compelling content to connect with my audience? So if you're going to do all this, it's not going to happen. So now I'll tell you how you are going to make it happen. So it would happen. It would happen only by what? So these are the things which I'm going to highlight now. First of all, appreciating the clients. Now, how are you going to appreciate the clients? Yeah, you must be asking. So I'll tell you, you just go on their post and start interacting and appreciating whatever they are doing. As simple as that. Let's say there is an audience, maybe a person who you think may be your prospective client, right? So go on their post, go on profile, send them some friend request, right? And then start engaging with them. Appreciate them, like and comment on their post. Very simple, right? Then the second point is, so this is the first point which I have written, appreciating the clients. Appreciate for whatever good they are doing. Again, you have to make a clarity. Don't do anything which is, when let's say somebody is sick and they are sharing their pains and you're saying, bravo, it's very good. No, not like that. Because I've seen people commenting blindly. Don't do that, right? So getting you genuinely interested in them. Let's say somebody is sharing something, good or bad, doesn't make any difference. But you need to be genuinely interested in them by giving something which might help them, right? Third point is serving attitude. Go with the serving attitude. Don't just try to pitch and sell. Never. It won't work at any point of time, right? And then if you do all this, what are you doing actually? You are building a solid foundation for a strong relationship. So build strong relationship without having any expectation in mind that, okay, they'll be buying in future. Even if they buy or not, leave it for the time being. Don't even worry. Don't even think. Just try to go with that attitude that I'm really going to help this person, right? Now, again, this is a type of gyan you would say. But now I'll tell you where you're going to start from to do all this. It is going to happen, but how? So where are you going to start from? This is a great question. Normally, I do it in this very conversational way because I need to make it very clear and want to make it simpler for you. Where to start from? So it starts from connecting people emotionally, right? You get that right. Emotions. Emotions are the things which people do care about, the first instance, right? Now, you have to bridge the gap between you and your audience. And what is that connection bridge? Your content, my friends, your content, whatever you're going to post right on the social media platforms, whatever platform it is, that is the bridge between you and your audience. Am I right? So the bridge is what? Contents. Now here, you can clearly see what I'm talking about. I'm talking about connecting emotionally and creating content. So the answer is obvious. Create emotional contents. Make simple. Seems good. Create emotional contents. Again, you'll say this is again, how do I create emotional content? I don't know to write. So this is a great misconception in the minds of the people that I'm not good at writing. Maybe you are a software professional. Maybe you are something else. Maybe you are into safety and security, maybe into cyberspace, maybe into different services, I would say, where you see that writing is not the main and core skill, right? So you are feeling not that confident, saying that I'm not good at writing, I'm not a content writer, and I don't have anything in my mind except for the subject which I'm working for. Let's say I'm working for an insurance company. I know very good about the insurance products and services, right? I know about that industry very well, but I don't know anything except that, right? So these are the three misbeliefs, I would say. I'm not good at writing, right? I'm not a content writer. How should I write that kind of a quality content so that people would read, right? I don't have anything in my mind except, my core subject, which is maybe anything, right? Maybe you could be a coder, a software engineer, an ITS guy, maybe a manufacturer, maybe anybody else, right? But here, the point is, specifically to the coaches, I'm saying, you are good at your core subject area, no doubt about it. But you do have certain else, which I'll tell you. So these are some common misbeliefs. Don't believe in all this. You are good. You are good in everything, right? Now, you have everything. What I say, You are good and you have everything in you. Just be you. When I say just be you, what I mean, it's simple. I'm saying you have everything which is required to create that kind of emotional content for your audience to connect with you. Am I right? I'm going crazy now. It's very simple and I'm going to decode it for you. I'm going to decode it. So how I'm going to decode it? Here is the game changer strategy. And this strategy is working for everyone, my friends. This is not just a theory. So I'm listing here 10 words, very simple words which we do use in our day-to-day lives, maybe 100 times a day or 50 times a day. And these are not anything which is very different. Now these 10 words are what? First, last, first, right? Last, happiest, saddest, right? Then you can read aloud here as well what I'm writing. I'm just coloring it for the sake of just giving some differentiation. Okay, saddest. Then you see the next word is proud. You may be proud of something. Joyful, right? Fearful, excited, mission, right? And friendship. These are the 10 words which I have given you. Now, what I want. Can you think of something like this? Why I'm giving you all this? And these are simple words. You know, you'll find what's great in these words. And what is there? What I'm going to do with these words? I'll tell you. So these are simple words. You can take a note of it. First, last, happiest, saddest, proud, joyful, fearful, excited, mission, friendship. Simple words, and you can create multiple words. Once you learn this concept, you can create multiple words from your own. Don't worry. These are not the only 10 words which I'm going to talk about. You have to create multiple other words as well, right? So here what I'm going to tell you is, now think of each and every word here. Let's say start with one word, first, right? And try to go back in a life and find any story relating to it. Did you get that? Take this word, go to your flashback, go to your memories, and see if you can have any story from your own life relating to this word. Now, for example, I'll give you certain examples. First, school. You can talk about your first school, first movie, first love, anything, first job, first mentor, first mentee, anything you want related to first. Isn't it crazy? You can have multiple contents around it, which you can share with your audience. Yes, the first school which I have been was long back. I had to, travel because we come from that background where the facilities were not there. There were no school buses flying for you to pick and drop. So you can say that I had to go by a bicycle or I had to go on my foot. It was 2 kilometers away from my home and used to carry a big heavy bag. Again, that bag was not that good, and even the classrooms were not that lucrative, I would say, or facilitate good facilities with decent desk and benches, right? There were broken benches and desks. The blackboard was broken from multiple places, and we used to have a duster and a chalk. So many stories, isn't it? You can talk about the first movie which you remember in your early days, which you had seen, right? Or maybe you can talk about your first love. Your first love could be anything. I'm not specifically talking about a girl or a boy. Your first love could be any game, any sports, maybe any habit, anything which you think could be your first love, right? So you can do anything which you want. Now, the second example which I'm going to tell you is about the last word. Yes, last. When I say last, what comes in your mind? You could talk about your last summer. How did you spend your last summer? How was your last party? What was your last travel experience? You can do anything. You can do anything you want, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you have that kind of a, words in your mind, and everybody has something in their memory. Everybody has lots of stories and nothing to hide about it. You have to talk about yourself. As I said, you have everything in you. You have everything in you. Don't have to become somebody else. Just be you. Just be you. This is what I always say. You don't have to be impersonating something, don't have to show anything which is wrong. Whatever you have is sufficient, more than sufficient, right? So now I say, I give you an example of last. So you can talk about a last summer you spent, your last party which you spent with your friends and family, or the last travel which you had. Now, let's say talking about some happiest, I've given you the word happiest. Now you can talk about your happiest moments in school, at work, in family, anything which you feel like this was the happiest moment in my life. And you'd be loving to share it with everyone, right? So these words would help you create multiple stories, right? Is that simple? Take these words, note it down, and start thinking about what happened in your life, which you could relate in form of any story. And everybody has that. Nobody can say that I don't have a story for this. Nobody can say, right? So here, this powerful strategy is going to give you multiple content ideas which you can create so that your audience start interacting with you. But here is a question. Now you'll ask, why would people read your stories? Right? You may ask me, why would people want to read my stories? I'll tell you the story, the reasons. Because the neuroscientists have proved, and this is not what I'm saying, the psychology says, people who are students of psychology, they can definitely vouch for it, saying that human psychology says that people are interested more in others than in them. Isn't it very interesting? Human psychology says that people are interested more in others than in them. People want to know more about what's happening the next door. What's happening in their life, they're least bothered about it, right? So this is a human psychology, and around this, everything is happening. Now, the second point is, people want to know, are you a similar human being like them? Right? Let's say if you start impersonating of being Mukesh Ambani, who is going to trust you? He has a different kind of a lifestyle. He has a different business altogether. He has a different way of working. He has a different mindset to grow, right? Don't try to be somebody else, right? Now, people who are your audience, they are just like you, and they want to see whether they are connecting with a similar person like themselves or not. So if they are seeing stories talking about all these topics which I've already mentioned, they connect with you. That's your purpose, isn't it? Now, coming to the third point, people want to come on a frequency with you by knowing your stories. Again, a very simple but very powerful thing. There are people, you may like it or not. There are people where you resonate with them, right? There are people, even though they have not done any harm, you might not be very friendly working or talking with them. But there are people whom you immediately resonate, that frequency matches, right? So by these stories, what we are doing, we are going to create that frequency for those audience which are resonating. Maybe not everybody is going to resonate with you, but there are people who have the similar frequency, bandwidth, whatever you name it. And with that frequency and bandwidth, they are going to meet and talk to you, resonate with you. And I say, because why these things are happening? Because stories are the shortest distance between two hearts. Very powerful thing. Stories are the shortest distance between two hearts, right? And you must have, heard, like when a husband and a wife, they are talking, normally in Indian context, it is told that, the love starts from the stomach, right? Because Indian housewives are supposed to cook very good food. And if the food is good, the love is automatically bestowed by their spouses. So here, what happens is, the stories are the shortest distance between two hearts, and the heart controls the emotion. Mind it, the heart controls the emotion. So I'm not a psychologist. I'll tell you, I'm not a psychologist, but I can vouch for this thing, that you have lots of things which you can do through stories, right? Because these stories are going to get in your mind, emotions, right? So now try to visualize that. This is what the strategy is. Now I'm going to give you certain visualization. You see every TV commercial, every TV ad which you see has a story. Whether it is a 10-second or a 20-second ad, there is a story behind it. Now try to go back whenever you sit in front of the TV, see the ad, what ad it is talking about, what story it is creating in your mind. Similarly, along with this TV commercial, you go and see every coach has a story. Every coach would be talking about his story, his struggles, his wins and his defeats, how he or she overcame and everything. And similarly, every successful brand, whether it is Apple, whether it is Amazon, whether it is, name Tata, Mahindra, or even the McDonald's and KFCs or Barista or whatever you name it, right? Every successful brand has a story. Why do they have a story? Simple. They want to connect with their audience. As simple as that. Similarly, you have a story and you are capable enough of creating those stories out of your own lives, right? So be you, as I said, and you do have your own stories. Just own those stories. Don't feel like, shy sharing those stories to the world. Tell it to the world. That's it. Own your stories, be you, own your stories, tell it to the world, and people will automatically connect you. Isn't it that simple? That's it. That's it in this very training. I hope this training has given you much value to create multiple contents around your own lives. And this is how you're going to connect with your audience. Thank you so much. I would like to have your feedback and comments in this section, and would love to have any other topic which you want me to talk on. And let's meet again in the next training. See you then. Bye-bye. Take care.